course architects and party peeps. It's Dr. Sonia here with Jump First. If you don't know what we do here, I talk all things premium courses, whether they be online or face-to-face, how to take your knowledge, wisdom, life experiences, turn them into the format of online courses, charge premium prices for them, as well as luxury coaching and mentorship brands and programs, so you can get your message out to the world, because you're not supposed to stay what? You are not supposed to be local. You're supposed to be global. Okay, so let's get into it today. That is right in line with what I want to talk about. It's time to tell your story. I know that when you first start out, especially going online, going on social media, which pro tip for your courses, social media is free as it currently stands. It is a great tool to connect, to build your community, to allow them to find you. All you literally have to do is start showing up and talking about your story. And I know that sometimes that can feel intimidating, right? When you first start talking about things that you've gone through, which is why I always say, pro tip, you teach from scars, not wounds. So teach from places that you have healed from, not places that are still open. All right. That's very, very important. You want to make sure that the story that you're telling is not causing further injury to you or to anyone else. And so it can be intimidating at first to start talking about, where you've been, mistakes you've made, things you've gone through, and intimidating in the sense like, are people going to judge me for this? What are they going to say? How's it going to come across? Do I know the right words to say when I start putting myself out there? And there is a way that you want to start packaging your story, because it's different from the advice that you've probably been giving, especially if you're a high performer, high achiever. People come to you all the time and ask your opinion about a particular subject, topic, and it may be a bunch of things. Okay, again, high performers, high achievers, we have our hands in a lot of different things. And so with that being said, you want to think about the thing that people ask your advice about over and over and over again. And I don't mean like the same people asking you the same question. You know the ones, right? You give the advice, they don't go use it, and then they come back and tell you the same thing a couple weeks later, a few days later. We love them, okay? No shade. But I'm talking about multiple people who come to you and ask for your advice or opinion about a particular area or subject, right? Topic. That's probably the thing that you should be creating a course about. Pro tip. In order to understand that and kind of know that, to validate that, you want to start sharing your story. When you see people start to ask questions about the thing that you're talking about or about certain parts of your story, that is an indication that that is the right topic for your first premium course as well. So you got to start putting your story out there in the first place. The other thing that I want to put here is that in spite of the intimidating piece of sharing your story, in spite of you being afraid or scared, right? And sometimes as a high performer, not even wanting to admit that. Like, we try to, we are superheroes in our own worlds, with our family members, our friends, how people see us. There's a stigma attached to that, and it's not always a negative thing. But we're seen in a certain light. And so, we always want to have our capes on, but it's okay to be afraid. You have to admit that to you first and foremost, right? Like, hey, there's some fear here of judgment usually. It's not even fear of like failure or success. Sometimes there's some of that, and we may mask it as that, but it's really fear of judgment. What are the people really going to think about my real story, about things that I've really been through? But I need to encourage you today, like, overcoming that for me is, well, if I don't show up, what's going to happen, right? Like, your destiny, all of our destinies are interconnected. And so I look at it like, you showing up and sharing your story may be the exact thing that sets a ball in motion. We're all here for a particular reason and purpose. We're here at this time together for a reason. And so I truly believe that, which is why I believe destinies are interconnected. And so you showing up and sharing your story may be the catalyst for something that you may not even see happen in your lifetime. But because you showed up, because you did your part, the next person was able to do their part, and so on and so forth. And so I look at it like that, like, I gotta show up, because what is the purpose? What is the reason that I'm here? And me showing up, you may never even, again, you may not see it in your lifetime, but someone may not even tell you that you were the inspiration. You were the reason that they decided to step into their purpose, that they decided to continue moving forward or do something that is going to impact and change the world. You have no idea. So start showing up. Good morning. What's going on, Clynette? Good to see you. mentees always in the building. So yeah, you got to show up. Okay. So I just need to put that here. As intimidating as it might be, as afraid as you may be, grab a mentor, grab a coach, grab a resource, grab somebody who is going to, again, hold the vision, expand the vision for you. I say again, because this is something that I talk about often, over and over and over again. And if you're new here and you're not aware of that, or this is your first time, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button so we can continue to spread this message, and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm live. I'm typically here between 9 and 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. We are currently also taking a look at some of the data, so I'll keep you posted on if that time changes, because again, I want to make sure, and exactly what I'm talking about with your premium courses, with you showing up online, just always be looking at the data. Your audience will tell you what they need, what they want to see from you, and it's your job to provide that, and when you start thinking about it that way, or you start delving into it, it really does become easy. Okay. So you got to put yourself out there to get the data that you need. Pro tip for your courses that you need in order to continue showing up. But firstly, overcome the intimidating factors, the fear, all of those things, the stigma around your story. Like, it's yours. Okay. Nobody else can tell it like you can tell it. And you do not want to wait until you are no longer here, not to be morbid, okay, for somebody else to tell it. Can't tell you how many times that's happened. Going to funerals for family members, friends, and hearing different stories that I had never heard before, because, unfortunately, sometimes people leave here not telling their story. And so I want to help you tell yours. JumpFirstAcademy.org to get started. Okay, JumpFirstAcademy.org to get started. Free training over there, no fluff. Walks you through my Teach It method, which I use to help you explore and tell your story and find your course topic and understand who your audience is, so you can start getting your message out to the world. You're not supposed to stay local. You are supposed to be global. There are so many more people for you to impact than those that you see in your local vicinity. JumpFirstAcademy.org to get started. Free resources over there, as well as paid, to help you implement along the way as you're going through that training. If you want to jump straight into a strategy session with me to talk more about what it would look like for you to add courses to your current business, or you're looking to start an online course business, you can book the strategy session at jumpfirstacademy.org/apply. All right. I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for showing up today, for yourself, as well as to watch this with me. I like to drop these for inspiration for me as well. Okay. And usually in 2 to 3 minutes, because we are high performers and we have things to do today. Make sure you send this to someone else for inspiration, and I'll see y'all back here soon. James, hello, says, I'm getting a message, but it's actually more like a feeling of love. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for being so sweet today, and also for the positivity. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Bye, y'all.